Bernie and friends, he'll invite you right in. Maybe he will invite you over for a huge political discussion. Bernie and friends, it's a revolution. $27 individual donors. Democratic socialism. Grassroots movements, free college for students, a future to believe in. Welcome you to Bernie and Friends.
Hello, and welcome to Bernie and Friends. Tonight we have a very special guest, and all the way from Texas, and runner-up Republican presidential candidate of the 2016 presidential election. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Ted Cruz.
Well, thank you, Bernie, for having me on. It's always a pleasure to sit down with you to discuss good, wholesome politics in truly a civil manner.
Well, that is how I do things. We do things here on Bernie and Friends, Ted. There are way too many of our colleagues showing their bad manners on Capitol Hill daily, and it's disgusting, and it needs to stop. I'll tell you that right now.
I agree, Bernie. It's a total mess, and that is exactly why I ran for president in 2016. I knew, in my heart, that we needed some relief. We needed a guy that was going to provide some peace of mind for all of those in doubt, confusion, Bernie.
And you believe that you were the guy that could do that for Americans, is that right?
I do, Bernie. And I still do. And here's why. You see, American state...
No, that's okay. I know exactly what your policies are, Senator Cruz. And you know what mine are. They are like water and grease. They don't fucking mix. Well, I'm sure you agree, Cruz. I don't, and have never had to bring that green eggs and ham shit stunt you pulled into Congress. I bring the facts because there are plenty of them. But next time, I'll bring my fucking Lincoln logs and explain how to build a cabinet, Cruz.
Well, hey, you know, if that's what it takes to get the job done, then yes, absolutely, Bernie. Bring your Lincoln logs, you can bring your Tinker toys, your Rubik's Cube, your Mario Kart. I love them all.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, Cruz, but more importantly, I would like to see how your policies match up with President Trump's now opposed to 2016. And that is why I have set up another debate between you twos. Now, President Trump is here, backstage, and Cruz, you have agreed to debate the president right here tonight on this show, correct?
That's right, Bernie. Donald has risen to the challenge. So will I.
Good. Looking forward to it later on in the program. But first, I want to make it clear that you and Trump now work together and are on pretty good terms at this point, right?
Well, that is correct, Bernie. Donald and I not always see eye to eye on several issues. But in time, we have settled our differences. And now Donald and I think very highly of each other. And you know, Bernie, that is the real testament to the core values of this administration.
Well, I would have to agree with you, Cruz. It is a real testament considering the very contentious campaign that you twos ran against each other. In fact, we can all recall how Trump insisted that you come from a very treasonous family and that you are not who you say you are.
He did. I'm not sure I recall that myself, Bernie. How so?
How so? It's highly documented in the debates, Cruz. Donald, throughout the campaign, told stories of how Lee Harvey Oswald, President Kennedy's assassin, and your father was secretly meeting. He said that they were strategically going over and developing the premeditated plans that they had constructed together to assassinate President Kennedy. Now, the Kennedys were very popular with the liberal progressive base, and Oswald and your father knew that they made as many public appearances as they possibly could. They were very engaged and proactive. And Oswald and your father took advantage of that fact.
Well, we all know Donald has a very creative imagination. And if he knew anything about my father, he would know that my father escaped the tyranny of Cuban regimes under the control of Fidel Castro. Donald would know that my father escaped and made it here, where he washed dishes in a small town just outside of El Paso. And
You say in a little town outside of El Paso, Cruz?
yes, Bernie.
Now hold on here, Cruz. Now, our records show that Lee Harvey Oswald also washed dishes in a small town outside of El Paso. Is there a chance that two may have worked there together?
Well, that is certainly a possibility, but very doubtfully knew each other. With very obvious different paths in life. My father moved on from there to New Orleans, where he worked in an oil company.
Whoa. Hold on right here. Now, our records also show that Lee Harvey Oswald started working in the oil business in New Orleans around 1969. Does that match the year that your father was there?
Well, yes, it was in 1969, but there were many different oil companies in the greater New Orleans area at the time, Bernie. Besides, on even more of a different path, my father then moved to Dallas to become a pastor of his own church called...
Wait, was that the First Congressional Church of Dallas?
Well, yes, it was, Bernie. How did
Our records are showing that Mr. Oswald attended service every Sunday at First Congressional Church of Dallas. Do you find it a little ironic that Oswald was a member of your father's congregation, Cruz?
Ironic? No, not at all. It probably wasn't the same Lee. There are many men named Lee in the South, Bernie, and furthermore, my father was...
All right. We have an obvious trail of breadcrumbs from your father leading to this heinous crime, or at least colluding with the murderer himself, but let's just move on now. Recently, we learned that someone in your camp was surfing porn from your domain. What's the deal with that, Cruz?
You know, Bernie, we were shocked to hear that ourselves, Bernie. What can I say? It was me. I couldn't help myself for a moment. When everyone left, I looked up the hottest porn I could. And even with such a beautiful wife at home, I just couldn't help myself. And even with a wife at home sexting me 4 times a day, I just had to look up porn, Bernie. Even though my wife sends me pics of her spread eagle on the bed, I just had to satisfy myself with some worthless porn, right, Bernie?
I don't know if you are trying to be sarcastic or not, Cruz, but you are giving us all a mental picture of what we were all thinking anyway. So, thanks for clearing that up, Cruz.
Well, you're welcome, Bernie.
Okay. Now, Trump is backstage getting a spray tan, and he's getting ready to debate you. Are you about ready, Cruz?
Well, I sure am, Bernie. I never turn down a debate.
All right, then. Let's get on with it. You can head over there now. He's waiting for you.
Donald?
Ted.
Okay. Now, I'd like to begin by thanking you both for being here tonight. And I will do my best to ask questions that will help the general public to try and understand what kind of people used tos are, and whether or not either of you are qualified for the position at hand, okay? Are there any questions before we get started?
Bernie, do I get a podium here, or...
A what? A podium? Oh, geez. Monkey Biker, will you please get Senator Cruz a podium? I think he wants to try to cloak a Woody he might pop from all this attention. Right, Cruz? Okay, now, Trump, I'm going to start with you.
Fire away, Bernie. But if I pop a Woodrow Wilson, this podium will never hide it, I'm sorry to say.
Okay, Trump. We have a very serious problem at the Mexican-United States border. People and children are in cages, and caravans of people are demanding to come in. The current administration has turned this situation into a giant clusterfuck. How will you tackle this problem if you are elected as president again, Trump?
Well, first of all, I would like to start off by saying that if I were president, none of this border nonsense would have ever happened. And second of all, I would like to...
Wait, hold on. But you are the president. The border issues I mentioned are current.
True, Bernie, but I am speaking in future tense Trump. And second-term Trump might not agree with first-term Trump's policy. First-term Trump was a huge success. But second-term Trump can and will clean up the horrible mistakes of the previous administration.
Okay, so let me get this straight here. You're condemning the policy of your own administration? I can't believe my ears. Is this just wax buildup?
Of course not, Bernie. I clearly condemn the first-term Trump's administration. By then, of course, and frankly, I would go as far to say the first-term Trump wasn't even a legal-born citizen. Bernie, I would be more than happy to debate him anytime.
Wow. Without a doubt, I would love to bring first-term Trump on to debate second-term Trump. But actually, I presume that short-term Trump will wind up being the master debater for a group of his closest cellmates.
Not gonna happen.
Okay,
Not
now,
gonna
over to you,
happen.
Cruz. Same question. If you were president, how would you handle the circus at the border?
Well, first I'd like to start off by thanking Donald for being here, and
You're
thank you for
welcome,
having us on
Ted.
to debate tonight, Bernie.
You're welcome.
Concerning the border issue, I would just like to say that being Latin American, this hits home just a little bit close. Bernie, my father, being from Cuba, and my mother, being from Canada, shows me clearly both ends of the spectrum, Bernie.
No
when I-
spectrum. It only means that you're merely a Cubanian, which is the new nationality that I have made up for you. And you're kind, Cruz. I'll make it a law.
Excuse me, Donald? Did you just call me a Cubanian? What exactly
Yes,
is...
Cruz, that is what I said. Cubanian. It's brilliant. And it's what you are now, okay? I win this portion. Next question, Bernie.
Okay, moving on then. Trump, this question is for you. And please, without lying, if elected president again, how will you handle the crisis and starvation in Yemen?
That's an easy one. And I will be elected president again, that's for sure, Bernie. And I've thought about what I will do about this problem. And that is to ensure that every single Yemenite gets a fair share of rice, and even a spork to eat it with, and a MAGA hat bowl.
Wait, did you just say MAGA hat bowl?
Yes, a MAGA hat bowl. That's my old slogan, Bernie. I have an overstock that the Yemenites can use for rice bowls. I figured, hey, they made them all. They might as well keep them.
Oh my lord. Okay, now over to you, Cruz. How will you handle this Yemen crisis?
Well, thank you, Bernie, and the Yemen crisis is a dire one. It has been on all of our minds. Bernie and I think it's apparent the most sensible thing to do is to go and extract the powers that be. Now, if we show a little
Wick.
muscle, we... excuse me, Donald?
Wick,
I was,
Cruz, you are a great worker. When you're working for me, of course. So please, don't quit your day job. Okay, next question, Bernie.
Okay then, Trump. Next question. If elected president, will you finally show us your damn taxes so we can finally put this issue to rest?
Bernie, I will show my taxes as soon as the audit is over. And we see Crooked Hillary's emails. I'm fully
Wait,
prepared to...
Donald? Are you trying to tell us that your taxes are still being audited? Well, that was 2 years ago.
Yes,
Wow.
Cruz. If you must know my personal business, my taxes are not available quite yet. I can see why you wouldn't understand being all Cubanian and all.
Now, Donald, I'm not Cubanian, and I don't appreciate being called one. It's rude, and I really think you should stop. Or better yet, Donald, why don't you tell us how you're going to keep your mistress under wraps and your pecker in your pants? If you're elected again, Donald, I'd like to know how.
Yes, that is a very good question, Cruz. I think we are all wondering if it's possible for you to stop grabbing every vagina on the planet if you are elected, Trump.
Not a chance, Bernie. I have sacrificed way too much for this job to give up my trademark pussy grab. It's not even in the cards. Some people smoke cigarettes. I grab vagina. Some people exercise. I grab pussy. Are you following me? Being president has nothing to do with my grab game, okay? Next question. I have golf at 3 and I want to brag about how I pummeled Lyin Ted here today.
Donald, you really shouldn't grab random vaginas. Now, it's just not right.
Shut up, Cruz. Your college roommate told us all about your pecker pulling problem, so zip it.
Excuse me, Donald? I do not have a pecker pulling problem now.
Wrong. That's not what I heard, Cruz.
Okay, enough you two. Now, Trump, you got a lot of legal problems. We all know about them at this point. How do you expect to run a smooth campaign while knowing that you are under tremendous scrutiny by the FBI and Bob Mueller's almost damning evidence that he has on you?
Bernie, I knew this question would come up, and I'm totally prepared. I've brought with me the man that knows law like no other, my friend and lawyer, Mr. Rudy Giuliani, to debate this portion of the program. Rudy, come out here, please.
Now, Donald, hold on here. You cannot bring your lawyer on to debate for you. Now, seriously?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can, and I did.
What? Bernie, is this even legal? Can he do that?
No. Like most things Trump does, it's not legal. But we will allow it today. And let me start by saying hi to a longtime colleague of mine and former mayor of New York City. Rudy, how are you?
Bernie, thank you. Good to see you.
Good. So now, Giuliani, what is your answer for how your client is going to run a strong campaign while under such heat from the FBI?
Well, Bernie, it's pretty simple because it's all lies. It's all lies. The president may be guilty, but not of the things they're accusing him of. So when you're wondering how it's going to affect anything, it's not. And you live life like it's not even happening. And I think eventually they will all go away.
So you're trying to tell me that your defense for Trump is that you think it will eventually go away?
Well, first of all...
You don't think the FBI has better things to do than to be looking into this fucker's life?
Well, first of all...
I know. You think the FBI and Robert Mueller are still mad about Hillary Clinton losing the 2016 presidential elections, but it's 2019, and nobody gives a shit about that election anymore. Not even me, and I lost to her.
Well, first of all...
So you tell me, if all this evidence has nothing but lies, what would Mueller's motivation be?
Well, first of all, there are many people still mad that Clinton lost, and...
Who is mad, Rudy? No one is mad. No one cares. I don't care. We are over it.
Well, first of all, Bernie, the whole cast of Saturday Night Live, all mad. Robert De Niro, still mad. Oprah, Ellen, the list goes on. And Bernie, they just can't get over it.
Those are all Hollywood actors. Besides, they are not mad about Clinton. They just don't like Trump, and understandingly.
Well, for one, Bernie, it's a witch hunt. Just like the Salem, Massachusetts, where they hunt witches to this day, Bernie. For two, it's exactly why we all need the wall. Bernie, the Chinese built the Great Wall to keep the witches out, you know? And for three, why were we getting the Space Force? Because there's witches out there too, Bernie, and they're behind the moon, so...
Bernie, I can vouch for Rudy on that one. A witch hunt put a spell on me once, and it was called green eggs and ham.
All right, enough of this bullshit. There is no fucking witches. You all got paranoid schizophrenia. Rudy, step aside. You're fucking the whole debate up. Now over to you, Cruz. Now you and Trump emphatically accused each other of lying. You two's campaign came down to who was the person who could call each other a liar in the best way. So, Cruz, do you still stand by your initial accusations about your current boss?
Well, Bernie, a lot has changed between Donald and I. Since the campaign, he and I see eye to eye on many of the lies and how we do it. Bernie, we learned from each other about the quality in lies. and how they can divert attention from the less important things. And Donald is a liar in a good way. And together, we trust each other to lie for the
What?
greater good,
I
Bernie.
didn't teach you anything, lying Ted Cruz. I gave you a job and you started stealing all my good ideas. You are the single biggest liar, even bigger than Jeb. You are still mad that I won. And from here on out, you are fired. Fired.
Well, that's fine, Donald. But I think that everyone agrees that electing you again would be a train wreck.
Well, Cruz, you really may have just ruined your political career with that one. And I feel so badly. So badly. Because you were gonna come over and endorse me. But I don't want it, you see,
You know,
because...
Donald, you are a pathological liar, and everyone knows it. Now, statistically, you have been shown to lie 40 times a day.
That's a lie, Cruz. But I will tell you something that is not a lie, and that is that your wife is ugly. And it's a shame, it's a total shame. She could have been hot.
Now, Donald, I resent those comments, and I am not in the habit of supporting people who attack my wife and attack my father.
Well, Cruz, just because my wife is so hot doesn't mean you have to deny that your wife is ugly. Lyin Ted,
Donald?
that's him.
You are consistently disgraceful.
Ugly,
Your behavior is beneath the office we serve.
ugly.
Donald, real men do not attack
I'm
women.
spilling the beans on your wife, Cruz. Ugly, very ugly.
Well, you know what?
What?
You know what?
What, Cruz?
Fuck you, Donald.
Fuck me. No, Cruz. Fuck you, Grandpa Monster-looking motherfucker.
Oh, wait, excuse me? What did you just call me?
Grandpa Monster.
Not cool, Donald. Not cool.
Fuck off, Monster.
cool at
I
all.
win.
Bernie, welcome to Bernie and Friends. Welcome to Bernie and Bernie. Welcome to Bernie and Friends. Bernie and Friends. Bernie, welcome to Bernie and Bernie. Welcome to Bernie and Bernie. Welcome to Bernie and Friends. Bernie and Friends.